It's hard to remember. When's the last time I saw this person? Our special guest on the Yeah Come On show. I think it's been a month and a half, an eternity in a pandemic. The Yeah Come On show, brought to you by OxygenFinancial.com, Circle285.com for all your insurance needs. Get a quote. You're probably paying too much, even if you've been with them for 20 years. And, of course, Ridgeline Counseling, Dr. David Markwell. I'm Southside Steve, joined with my co-host, Mr. Brett Barney, and a special guest, Brett, one we're both truly going to enjoy for a lot of reasons. Number one, he's English. Number two, got a hot wife. I worked with her. Number three, he's really good with web design and did a lot of work with me at Southside Steve's. He completely put together my entire website for my bar and handled all my social media. Then he got out of the media business and went to what he does best, drinking, because he's English. He might even have a splash of Catholic. I think he's an alcoholic, like ourselves. It's a perfect job. Welcome Chris Green with Legends Bourbon as well as Legends Vodka. Yeah, come on!
Howdy. How's it going, mate?
It's going good, mate. And I'm going to say mate throughout this because you are a friend. Shut up, Brett Barney. Mate, you can say mate when you're dealing with an English person.
That's
and
it.
I'm gonna pour myself a little bit. Now, I drank one of your bottles, and this bottle, I didn't realize that I still had it. I thought my father-in-law had taken it. This is Legends 100 proof bourbon right here. And Brett Barney, you know all about Legends because you went hunting it today at various liquor stores.
I did. And it sells out pretty well. But I found it. Tower. Right there.
Tower.
Yeah.
Cheers.
It's leaving the shelves pretty quickly.
Yeah, and I guess
good.
you guys are happy about that. Now, are you currently at the brewery or are you at your home?
No, I'm at the distillery right now. I'm doing a bunch of marketing work, getting ready for a big Atlanta thing that we're doing. So doing my graphics, doing my meetings. So
see, that's the cool thing. You do have a graphics background, so you can do the graphics. So y'all don't need to hire anybody to do that. You can do that along with being the taste tester, which is your job, right? You taste every bottle.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when we're mixing the batches, someone's got to taste it, so it might as well be me.
Yeah, might as well. Might as well.
You need an intern?
Right?
Sorry.
It's a real fun job.
Shoot your shot, right?
Nice. Well, one reason to have you on, for those of you that don't realize, Chris, like I said, when I was introing you, I have worked with your wife. She was fantastic. She worked with me on the regular guys on Rock 100.5. She worked for 99X, and she's currently across the street at the River. Deborah. What does Deborah go by on the air? Does she just go by Deborah Green or Deborah?
Deborah Green. Yep, that's what she goes by.
She doesn't have a choice because she took your name because she allows you to have sex with her permanently.
Yeah, we've been married for a while now, Steve. 13 years. So
wow,
how that goes now.
Dude, I know how that goes. 13 years. Congratulations. And then through her, I was able to meet you. And yeah, Brett, when I had Southside Steve's from 08 to 13, Chris did all of my stuff for me. He did an excellent job. And then I was happy to hear that you had a career change. So why don't you tell us what exactly happened there, Chris?
Well, yeah, so it was funny, actually, when I was first meeting Deborah and I got to know Steve, I was actually a musician. And
I forgot about your band days. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I actually have the privilege of playing one of the last shows at Southside Steve's. Remember, it was a Christmas party, and it was insane. It was us. Seven Dust was out there. They were partying. I remember Morgan Rose getting on the stage, absolutely shit-faced. I don't even think he knew where he was. There was another band. Was it 11 something?
11 Standing Still was there.
11 Standing Still, that's right. And that was, I think that was the last show that you did there. And shortly after,
we closed. You're exactly right. And that was my kind of music, man. That was good rock with a splash of like gothic. It was my kind of rock and roll. And that I totally forgot about that. So now, are you in the band at all anymore at any level?
I've not done that in 8 years now.
You quit when I quit.
Pretty much, yeah. We gave it a good run, and we played a lot of shows, but financially, it was draining my bank account. Going on the road. I mean, we did a tour from Georgia to Utica, New York, and back, hitting multiple stops. And I came home and I was broke.
Yeah.
And, that pretty much put an end to that. You know, the music industry is brutal. I mean, you worked in it, Steve, so you know it's absolutely brutal. And so I went back to doing what I do best, which is graphic design. And I was doing that while I was on the road. So I'm in the back of in the car on my laptop doing my work while the rest of the guys are out drinking and stuff. And then, so I went back into graphic design, and that's when I started working for you, rebuilding your branding, basically, to try and help you out with Southside Steve's. And I did that for many years. Oh, man, it was an absolute pleasure. And it was a lot of fun. I remember my 30th birthday at Southside Steve's. I remember the first hour, and remember nothing else after that.
Let me tell you something, Brett. You know, we all like to drink to excess. Well, Chris was like, once I start, I don't stop. And he didn't. And he's a bourbon man. And that night, I think we were partaking of Jack. We were having some Jack Daniels. And I remember you took it all the way. I was impressed. I like you, am known to do that. And it was awesome, dude. You're a great drinker.
Well, I got to the bar, and you had a little private section for me and my guests, and then a bottle of Jack Daniels sitting there waiting for me. And he was like, "Go at it, go nuts." And so I did. And
you did.
Yeah, there wasn't much of that night that I remember, but there's a lot of people that told me stories about it, though.
Yeah, we only had sex twice, and I was against it, but you wouldn't give me. You demanded to have me, so it was horrible.
I heard 3 times. So there's one that's missing apparently. So. But no, that was amazing. That and then so how it all started with Legends is I used to go to the Brew House Cafe a lot, and I started a soccer club. Steve, you know I'm a huge fan. And Manchester City is my club, and we didn't have a supporters club in Atlanta, so I started one because I can't just join one. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to own it. So I started this Man City club, started going to the Brew House Cafe, and that's where I met Michael, who is the CEO of Legends. And he was telling me about this project that he wants to revamp. He started it back in 2007, and he's come up with this fantastic new technology. And he just kind of sold me on the idea. And I thought, man, this is the perfect time for a career change. I can still do my graphic design, but now I can get into something new and fun. And that's when we started this Legends. And what's amazing about it is the product speaks for itself as far as the quality, the bourbon and the vodka. It's multiple award winning. We just won Best in Class Platinum for our 100 at the SIP Awards, which is like getting an Emmy for a bourbon.
That's fantastic.
It's a fantastic award to get. But on top of that, this technology that we have here, man, quantum purity, is a patented technology that Michael and Johnny came up with. And what it does is it reduces the congeners, which in layman's terms is toxins in alcohol, by about 50%. And it's mostly all the bad stuff that you don't want in alcohol that's always there, the methanol, butanol, ethanol. That's the stuff that gives you the horrible headache and the nausea feeling. We reduce that by 50%, maintaining the quality of our product, but without having the throat burn, which you quoted me on saying there's no burn.
No burn. I'm saying it right now. This is me taking a sip. If I did this with any other bourbon, I'd have a throat burn, and I don't have one at all.
Yeah.
At all.
What about you, Brett? You got that throat burn?
No, it's actually really smooth.
That's it.
I'm surprised.
Yeah. So you still get the taste profile. You still get the palate. You get nothing on the back of the throat. And then with this technology, we essentially helped eliminate the hangover.
Which I'm thankful for. And I'm a fan. Like I said, I went through the one bottle quickly. This bottle I thought my father had. I told you I was out. And then he goes, it's down in your cabinet. He had rearranged my cabinet. And I'm like, okay. So I found it, and I'm like, perfect. That's another reason why I wanted you on the podcast, because I found your bottle.
That's awesome.
But the bottle I drank, this is not to sidetrack you too much.
The 87.
I drank that one. That one's gone. That was great.
The 87 is a single barrel, and so it's an ultra smooth, easy drinker. We actually call it a session bourbon, where you just pop the top off and the bottle's just gone. You just keep drinking it. It's so easy to drink, and before you know it, it's gone. You wake up the next day feeling absolutely fantastic and cannot believe you just drank a bottle of 87 proof bourbon. And then with the 100 that you're drinking now, it's a double barrel 100 proof. You're getting a little bit more of a taste profile with the oak, a little bit peppery, but again, no burn on the back of the throat. Hits you in the belly, nice warmth. It's almost like you're drinking. It says, "Honey, I made it home."
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know about you, Brett, but I feel like I just licked the inside of a barrel, and it's good with no splinters. It's incredible.
I just like that it's smooth.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
And you don't have to put it with Coke or maybe you could. I don't know.
No,
I grabbed the 87.
Fantastic with Coke. It really. Yeah. We started this campaign about breaking tradition, get away from the Jack and Coke, and start doing 87 and Coke because it really does blend well. It's a great mix-up.
Well, you know you're talking to the right guy. I've drank Jack and Coke since I was in 10th grade, and I have said more about it, on the radio. I have a statue. He's over in the corner here of Jack Daniels. And, my bar, pretty much, when I did Smoking the Bandit themed bar with Southside Steve's, I had the Texas Coors Banquet and all that. But on the Georgia side, I went with Jack Daniels because it was my favorite. Legends didn't exist, not my fault. But I will tell you that for me, I almost thought you would be insulted if we mixed it with Coca-Cola. So I'm surprised that you embraced that.
No, it's something that we played around with here, trying to figure out good mixes. We were doing the old fashions and Manhattans and stuff like that, and then we were like, Jack and Coke is almost the number one drink in the world. I mean, everybody does a Jack and Coke, and like, let's try an 87 and a Coke and see how it blended. And we were all sitting there, and we poured the mixer, and we all took a sip, and we're like, holy shit, this is amazing. Because the cool thing about it is that it's not sugary. Our bourbon doesn't have a high content of sugar. Jack Daniels is a little sugary, so it's sweet upon sweets, which is delicious in itself, and a lot of people enjoy it. But if you want something that's not just punching in the face with sugar, that's where the 87 is really, it almost enhances the Coca-Cola.
See, now I need to try to do that on my second drink during this podcast because I will have two. Who knows? This could lead to 3, 4, 5. I don't know. I could be putting my 3-month-old child to bed intoxicated. No, I'm just kidding, honey. Got to say I'm joking with that kind of stuff. She gets pissed. But no, I loved that taste, and I am such a fan of the 87. But this 100, this is fantastic too. And, it's a stronger proof, but I love no hangovers. Right now, so many people are working at home. I guess you can embrace the hangover easier, but I've never been a fan of it. And I never got the queasy unless I just got blitzed. Like I had to just be alcohol poisoned. It's the headache that nobody likes. And that's the sugar. So I'm with you. If you could just put a couple of splashes of Coke in with this 100 or the 87 and sip it, and it enhances the Coca-Cola, that's rock star. I mean, that's awesome.
Absolutely. Steve, so starting this whole campaign about break tradition. Get away from the Jack and the Coke. Let's go 87 and Coke, baby.
Steve, I don't know anybody that enjoys a hangover, by the way.
No, there are people.
There is nobody that enjoys a hangover. Not a single person in the world.
There's somebody. I don't know. All right, well, maybe I shouldn't have said that. All right, how about some people just embrace it as a part of their life? They know they're going to be hungover 4 times a week. How about that?
I can accept that.
All right, I need you to accept it. By the way, Chris, I will tell you, you and I are bourbon drinkers. I have been over to England, so, I have mad respect for you and your people, mate. Brett went to Germany for Beer Fest. He's a beer drinker. He could give a damn. We're turning him into a bourbon drinker. This guy likes all that. What is that? Don't you drink the White Claw and all that crap?
Oh, I love White Claw. True.
Oh, that's crap in a can.
Miller Lite on a nice afternoon. I like anything local, craft IPAs, all of that.
So what do you think of bourbon?
I don't hate it. I'm kind of confused a little bit right now because you have a million ice cubes and I have this one just giant cube. I don't know which is better. Is there a difference?
Chris?
No, so the main difference is if you have a giant ice cube, a ball or something like that, it's going to melt slower. So you're not going to dilute the bourbon down as quick. when you have multiple ice cubes, it'll tend to melt quicker, so you're going to end up having to drink it faster to make sure you keep the flavor of the bourbon in.
No problem. Since I have ice cubes, I will tell you that I have the big round circle. I have a couple of those in the freezer now. For my second drink, I will do the circle, and I will do the 100 proof Legends with a splash or 3 of Coca-Cola. But right now, I have to drink fast so I don't dilute. Way to go, Brett. You went with the big ice cube. You did good there for a non-bourbon drinker.
I'm lucky that I date a former bartender, and she made the drink for me. So I have no idea what I'm doing.
You need to tell her to make you an old-fashioned with the 87. It is incredible.
And we have this mix right now that somebody gave us. It's like I don't know. Because I guess there's like spice and this is well beyond my realm of knowledge, but it's like a sweet tea almost, I don't know, it's in a jar and you pour it in and it's the flavors, I don't know if it's bitters, hell if I know.
Probably bitters.
She makes it, I drink it.
Yeah.
That's the rule.
I used to know a bartender that had a recipe for the hangover, which we now have agreed nobody likes. They would use bitters and soda water and about 4 or 5 other little things, putting dishes and dashes of it in there. And I would drink that. It tasted horrible, but you would definitely feel better in about 15 minutes.
There you go.
What was that big microphone? Is that a microphone or a large penis? What are you talking into right now?
It's a microphone. I felt like I sounded really hollow in my ears, so I was like, I got to prop this up on something because I'm like leaning forward on a couch trying to talk to you guys.
Oh, you're on the couch? It doesn't look like it. I will tell you that microphone's impressive. It's a little bit of it's not David Letterman as much as it is what's the dude that wears suspenders?
Oh, Larry King.
Drew
That's
Carey.
Who it is.
Oh.
Yeah. Drew Carey?
Carey.
I don't know. Shot in the dark.
Drew Carey.
Bob Barker?
Wing and a miss.
No. Larry King. Larry King, who's now divorced for the 4th time. I know who he is.
Again? Oh, dear God.
I know, and I don't know who. That dude will get married one more time, and she'll be 28 years old. And who cares if she's using him? If you have to have sex with Larry King, you deserve everything he has left in the bank, I think.
You think he cares?
He doesn't care. He doesn't care. His kids that are like 65 years old care. They're like, damn, Ted.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Make sure that will is watertight because she's getting everything.
Just kidding. She's getting it all. Now, tell us real quick for the history. One reason why I wanted to help have you on is to help you out. What the Yet Come On show is locals. I mean, we literally want to do for our own. It's people that live in the Atlanta area, businesses that thrive in the Atlanta area, people that may have followed my radio career, came to my bar. But, I'm all about the little guy that wants to be a big guy. And, for right now, what you guys are doing, how long have you guys been in business, and where is the distillery? And also, can you visit it? Is it one of those type of deals? And then tell us about your vodka too. So I knew I threw a couple questions, but that's what I'd like to hear about.
So the Spirits USA is the company, and we've been actually around since 2007. The Legends brand we've been working on for about 7 years, doing R&D on the technology. And then once we got the technology down, which is the quantum purity that reduces the congeners, we then started playing around with multiple barrels and playing around with the mash and trying to get the recipe right so we can put out a premium product. You don't want to just put anything out on the market. It's got to be top quality. With a name like Legends, it better be, the shit, basically.
It better be legendary. And I will tell you, as we learned today, Brett, buying a bottle, it's not the cheapest bottle you're ever going to buy. It does have a price tag, but it's worth it. And that's what matters. I'll spend $10 more on a fifth all day long if it tastes fantastic and I don't have a hangover.
I'm 100% with you. I'd rather spend an extra 10, 20, 30, even if it was $50 more than a Aristocrat in a plastic bottle handle for $15 that is going to give me a splitting headache.
Yeah.
Right.
And we did a lot of market research to actually price out our product. And we didn't want to be too cheap because we don't want to come across as just another distillery that's putting out a cheap bourbon, a cheap vodka. We didn't want to be too expensive because we don't want to just steamroll our customers and have them paying premium. You know, like people go buy Pappy Van Winkle well and stuff like that. They expect to pay a certain price. They got the history behind them. We're the new boys. So we made sure we priced it out to where we're kind of in that happy medium. Not too cheap, not too expensive.
Well, and to stay on this subject for a second, my neighbor, who is very sweet, I would say, because he has bottles of Pappy Van, and he's offered them to me, not the bottle, no. He's offered me a shot here and there. I can have a shot. That's it. But that feels special too. But right now, you know, my sunglasses, I do have a detached retina, so nobody punched me. But right now I'm in day 22 of looking through the world through a bubble. But I will tell you that he stopped just yesterday, and he literally said to me, Steve, you know, you need some love. You want to come by the house for some Pappy? And I was like, I said to him, I do, and I will, but I've got something you need to taste that may compare with Pappy. And I brought this up, and I learned this from you, Chris. Tell everybody real quick before we get to the vodka and the fact, you know, we now know that the Legends brand has only been around for 7 years, but 7 fantastic years. And I feel like you guys feel like you have the product now that will go the next 30, 50 to 100 years. But tell us about the comparison, which a lot of people will be like, what? To Pappy Van Winkle.
Yeah, so we did a big media thing where we went out and hit different radio stations, different magazines, different newspapers, and the number one thing that came back to us on the 100 was we were basically being classified as a poor man's Pappies, and I'll take that all day. All day, I would take that. I mean, you know, that's one of the premier bourbons in the market, and it's a good bourbon. And so to be considered the poor man's Pappy, hey, you know what, I'm all for it. But our 100 definitely does stand on by itself. I mean, it really does. We'll put this up against anything on the market. And to win the Best in Class Platinum at the SIP Awards, that was going against hundreds of small batch up to 10-year bourbons. And so to beat out a lot of those brands was absolutely fantastic for us.
I mean, you have to be so proud, and I know that you've been a part of this, you know, and you look at the recipe and every little thing that you guys did to come out and beat these other bourbons. Everybody's doing their best, but when you've got the taste and, you know, and you've got the aftertaste and you don't have the burn and you don't have the hangover, 3 cheers to you. I mean, man,
that's it.
It's awesome.
Hooray.
I'm hooked. What about you, Brett Barney? You getting off the beer train?
Oh, that's going to be tough.
That's going to be tough.
You got college football coming up.
Yeah. Plus, you got that Germany experience now, Oktoberfest. I mean,
I will say this. One cool thing about Germany, and I'm sure it's this way all over Europe, when you go to the train stations, because everybody takes trains everywhere because it's super convenient and awesome, and I wish we had setups like they did in the same situation, but they sell like cans of Jack and Coke, so you could have just a nice little pop in the morning.
Yeah.
If we had that here at MARTA, little vending machine, a little Legends and Coke, pre-made.
The problem that you've got over here compared to Europe, though, is that we are so used to it that we don't abuse it. You know, like you said, you'll have a pop in the morning, good for the day. I think if you did that in MARTA, man, you'd have so many drunk, abusive people.
Yeah, do you know how many bodies? No, do you know how many bodies would be on the tracks every day? We'd be like, today was a good day. Only 4 people struck by trains today. Moving on. Brenda, what's the weather look like?
You know how many people would be like peeing on staircases and in the elevators? And they have the sensors in the MARTA elevators if somebody's going to the bathroom that locks up the elevator.
Really?
It's because we're young. Look, we're a young country. We haven't figured it out yet. We don't have the generations of handling ourselves properly in the class that Europe does. You know, that's why we're all hung up on women covering their breasts. I mean, we should be topless here. You know, we've got a ways to go, but maybe Legends can help us get there. You know,
2020. Let's do it.
Yeah,
let's get there. We need to start somewhere.
It should be there already, to be fair, but it's getting better. It is. There's a lot of movements out there, a lot of organizations that are helping.
Yeah. Do you hate living in the States sometimes? Does it frustrate you?
No, not at all. I've lived here 22 and a half years now. I became a citizen last year on September 11th. I became
Congratulations.
God bless America, and did it on the 11th. That's what I'm talking about.
And so I'm very proud of living here. I'm proud of where I came from, extremely proud of where I live. This is the best country in the world.
Well, speaking about countries in the best city in the world, where exactly is the distillery? You said now this is out of Canton, correct?
Nope, it's out of Cumming. Cumming,
Georgia, not
so
Canton.
Right
Cumming.
400 off exit 14. 14. We are in the process of building out our tasting room and bar. So
nice.
When we launched, we technically launched the brand officially in Georgia in March, right when COVID hit. I mean, you couldn't have picked a worse time to do it. But we started out with a 3,000 square foot facility, distillery. And then within two and a half months, we outgrew this place. And so we ended up having to get the building next door to and expand to almost 20,000 square feet.
Wow.
Because we blew up overnight. The people of Forsyth County got really behind us when Governor Kemp shut down the state back in April. And we sold direct out of the distillery because we couldn't ship out with our distributor because of everything that was going on. And Forsyth County people embraced us. They showed up in the droves, pulling up in their cars, doing drive-by pickup. And they really kept us going. And by doing that, it put us on the map. And then when May rolled around, we were able to start, when the state kind of opened up again, we started shipping out to our distributors. And between May and September, we're already in 127 locations in Georgia now. And that's, I think it's like 94 package stores and then 33 restaurants, including a lot of the big chain restaurants that we're in now too.
That's awesome. So definitely when you're out, you guys ask for legends. I think the curiosity, I think we've made a case for that no matter what to anybody that has enjoyed bourbon, especially as much as I have, and you can drink one. And, I've always been envious of those that can drink a scotch on the rocks or something. And I wanted to be an on the rocks guy, but I've always been a Jack and Coke guy. So for me, I can drink yours on the rocks. I don't have the sting. It tastes fantastic. I don't need the Coca-Cola. I feel a little classier drinking yours, and I love zero hangover, like you said. I mean, I'm sure if I drank 2 bottles, I could probably work myself into some kind of a hangover. But, but if I drank the same as I would on a normal night of any other bourbon, I'm going to feel worse in the morning for sure than I would be on Legends. So I think that is just a green light for people to try it. Out of the two, if they were going to buy their first bottle, and I know it's tough for you, where would you go on the bourbon, 87 or 100?
87.
Okay.
I would start with the 87. It's a solid session drinker. You get familiar with the taste profile that we produce using our quantum purity technology. And then you go and spend that little extra money, get the 100, where you're going to get even more of a taste profile, a lot more of the oak, and then you're elevating your bourbon game.
I will tell you, the oak is strong. I definitely taste that, and I did. And you're right. We killed that bottle in one night between 3 of us.
That's beautiful.
I mean, that's a lot. No, dude, it's not. It says I have an issue. But I don't care. I'm working through it. But
were you at a hunting ground, or where is it acceptable for 3 people to kill this entire bottle?
I don't know. I think it's acceptable anywhere you can smoke a cigar. I think it goes well with cigars. I will tell you that. We were smoking cigars at the time. It went better out. We were outdoors versus indoors, so we're on a patio. And the temperature was right. It was like 9:30, and by midnight it was gone. And also the distraction of a little card play, it helped out. So it's not like we just stared at each other going, "Come out, come out." I mean, it was a ceremony, of sorts. Smoking cigars, playing cards, good conversations. 3 guys that definitely are bourbon drinkers, and the bottle was done.
One of my favorite stories, we get a lot of feedback from customers that are trying us for the first time. One of my favorite stories was this lady came in and she bought a bottle of 87 for her husband to try. And she took it home, she gave it to him, and he started playing online poker one night. Okay. And he had the bottle sitting there with his glass, and he played for 4.5 hours of online poker and killed the bottle. by
All
himself.
right, that's worse. That's worse than what I did, Brett.
And he, yeah, it is. And what's funny, she told me that he went into almost like a panic mode, that he didn't realize that he just drank a whole bottle of bourbon because it's so easy to drink the 87.
Yes.
And so he was really concerned about the next day and, you know, and all this stuff. And then he woke up the next day and he was unbelievably shocked that he didn't have a hangover. And so the next day his wife came back and bought 3 more bottles.
God bless him.
Yeah. He was just so amazed that he was able to sit there for 4.5 hours just polishing off a bottle, playing online. Now, I didn't ask him if he won in the online poker. I can only assume with a bottle of bourbon he didn't do well. But
no. I'll say that it doesn't make you sharp mentally, but boy, you feel good. I will tell you, I want to find out about your vodka because we haven't given that any love, and we're going to come right back after this commercial break. I just want to thank everybody for listening to the Yeah Come On show. Again, it's brought to you by OxygenFinancial.com. Give Ted Jenkins a call. He's done brilliant for me this year. This is the time to make a little money, know what's hot and what's not. And then your insurance. Even Chris, talking to you, Chris, you might be one of those loyal guys to an insurance company, but you might be paying too much for your homeowners and your car. Get a free quote from Circle285.com. And lastly, Dr. David Markwell of Ridgeline Counseling. Here's his commercial. We'll be right back with Chris Green of Legends Liquor out of Cumming, Georgia, and we're going to talk vodka for a minute. Yeah, come on.
I'm David Markwell with Ridgeline Counseling. The current situation we're in is bringing all kinds of issues into our lives, everything from stress and anxiety to frustration, bouts of depression and loneliness. Well, we're here to help at Ridgeline Counseling. You can reach us at 770-993-9700, or you can email us at ridgelinecounseling@gmail.com. Currently, we're offering telemental services through video and phone platforms, and in a few weeks, we'll be transitioning back to in-person office visits. In the meantime, stay safe. We'll get through this. Yeah, come on.
All right, the Yeah Come On show. Back again with Chris Green. Special thanks to Dr. David Markwell and Ridgeline Counseling. Look, don't ever be afraid to get help. You got one life to live, and it's good to talk to somebody. And sometimes you can't work it out by yourself. It helps to have a mediator. So, David Markwell, I highly suggest it if you're going through anything. Most people are. I mean, Brett's going through some tough times. I don't want to bring it up. I shouldn't have even said what I said. Now you're going to wonder what's going on with Brett. I'm just going to let it go. I'm going to let it go right now. Let's let it go.
Hey, times are getting better. Times are getting better.
Good. All right. So let's just say it. You've decided women is the way to go, right?
Yes. Okay. And thank you for all your help and all your notes. You gave me your special black book. I started calling all of them. Got about 418 in before someone answered. Thank God I didn't get to 419.
Well, you know what? 419 would have been my wife, and that would be wrong. Let's not do that. But I will tell you that Brett Barney, my co-host, I think is leaning towards bourbon thanks to Legends Bourbon, which is out of Cumming, Georgia. On with us right now, Chris Green. Chris, what exactly is your title so I can introduce you properly at the distillery?
So I'm a chief marketing officer and co-owner.
I like both of those, especially the second one. That's good to know. Good to know. You know what? When you're an owner, we don't have to keep buying bottles. Every once in a while, we'll get a freebie. Yeah. And now here's
literally down the road from me, Steve. 10 minutes down the road, man. That's it.
Don't be a stranger, Chris.
I know, but it's, these COVID times, everybody's nervous about going to people's houses and all that kind of stuff.
I know.
Just had a new baby, so I'm trying to, play it safe for you. But yeah, I can always just drop it on the doorstep, knock on the door, and head on out.
Yeah. Or leave it in the yard. I'll get it. Just whatever you got to do. I will tell you right now, I'm about to pour my second glass of Legends 100 bourbon. This is double barrel, baby. We talked about the 87. We're about to get it in the vodka, but I just wanted you guys to know, Brett Barney, like you have a large circle ice cube. Can everybody see that? Hello. Oh, man. Does it hurt your computer when you drip water on the keyboard?
Just a little.
No, not at all.
Hold on.
This is not recommended.
Yeah, just pour it all on there.
Okay, cool. All right. So now I'm going to I also have Coca-Cola. God bless Coca-Cola. I'm an Atlanta boy. So I'm going to put a little bit in here. And then how much Coca-Cola should I put in, Chris?
splash.
I mean, it's personal preference, really.
Really, I don't want to go heavy on it.
I wouldn't go super heavy, no.
All right.
Nice splash of it.
Now get a little sip and start.
There you go. Cleanse the palate.
Cleanse. I'm cleansing. All right. There we go. All right. Far out. Now, let's see how the 100 proof Legends bourbon complements Coca-Cola. I feel complimented big time. That's good.
It's
That's
good.
damn good. It is. But you know what? I can drink it straight, and I'll do both. But damn. Yeah, you only need a few splashes.
Yep. Doesn't need much, and it really complements the Coca-Cola.
Oh, that's good.
Or
that's good.
Vice versa. The Coca-Cola complements the Legends.
Either way, they're both winners to me. If you get as big as Coca-Cola, I think it'll be great that you're a co-owner. I just want you to know that for the record.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Tell us now about the vodka, and I'll hold that up. It's well packaged, the logo. I will tell you, I love the bottle, the thickness of it and the shape. You want to tell us why this shape, and tell us a little bit about the vodka.
Yeah, so actually we're coming out with a brand new bottle towards the end of the year that is going to be all custom made, embossed with the Legends logo, the Quantum Purity logo. We're going with a little bit of a rebranding towards the end of the year, so the bottle will change from where it is now. This is a bottle that we launched with. It was readily available to us. We had to pull the trigger and get going, and we couldn't wait for our custom bottles to be made because they're all being made overseas. So this is the bottle we went with. It's called Dutch City. So it's a really good flint. It's heavyweight, which we wanted. We didn't want a lightweight bottle. It
is very heavy.
Yeah. If you're holding it, you know you're holding a proper Legends drink right there. So.
And I like it. It's called the Dodge City. This is very much a Western shape. I love that.
So so we went with that. So I gave you a bottle of the vodka. I know you're not a big vodka guy, but I know the missus is. So that's why I dropped.
She is.
Vodka
yes.
I love vodka, by the way.
You do?
Oh yeah, that's usually one of my go-tos.
See, now you should have picked up.
I should have done that. I didn't know.
So what's really cool about our vodka, using the same technology that we do for the bourbon, we have created this ultra pure smooth vodka that has literally no burn, which if you're a straight shooter of vodka, which most people are not, to be fair, most people mix their vodka with, some kind of soda or orange juice or, making martinis, stuff like that. But you can just pour our vodka straight into a glass, do a shot of it, and it is so incredibly smooth. No burn. You get the taste profile, but again, nothing here, a little warmth in the belly. Our vodka won the 2019 Vodka of the Year award. We won that award before we sold a single bottle of our vodka.
It's so clear. It's so clear.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It is.
And it's a great mixer. It really is. We have some cocktail recipes that we've been posting online, different recipes for the vodka. We've had a lot of people coming and buying these bottles and then coming back and saying, I don't even mix this. I pour it on ice and that is it. And they just sip on that and they just love it. Again, you can enjoy the bottle, wake up the next day and feel fantastic. And that's
awesome.
But this vodka has won, I think it's won 7 awards. Since we launched, including gold at the SIP Awards, which was a great award, double gold in San Diego, and then getting the 2019 Vodka of the Year award was pretty epic for us.
And for people that don't understand the awards or the levels of what is going on, no matter what, they have to realize these are people competing against each other, like Tito's and people like that are in it. So it's such a huge deal to win. You're up against it. So easy not to win. It's so easy to be 5th or 6th. So when you win and you can put that on your bottle, that's impressive. People need to realize that, even if you don't understand the award ceremonies or what's going on, if you're winning awards, you're doing something right, because I take it these people have excellent palates that judge this stuff.
I would hope so. If they're judging, then I would hope so. But obviously they're loving what we're doing because we're getting all these awards in. So I would say the judges they're picking so far know what they're talking about.
Well, that's fantastic. Here's what I don't know what somebody's talking about when I do what I'm about to do. And Chris, I'm going to turn it over to Brett Barney. He comes to the table always with questions, and I let him go wild. I don't think you can be offended, but a true man stays in the saddle. So regardless of what he asks you, hang in there. Here we go. Brett Barney.
I'm going to start light. What does your shirt say?
It says Legends Vodka.
Georgia's award-winning vodka.
Award-winning Legends Vodka.
I could only see the award-winning, and I was like,
oh, yeah. Because I'm sitting close to the screen on the back of the shirt. So we're never going to ever print that our spirits technically reduce the hangover. We can't print that. We're not going to print that. So what we end up doing is come up with a tagline that's called Take Back the Morning. And that's our way of saying,
that's awesome.
Drink all night, take back the morning. And so that's on the back of the shirt. And we have these for sale at our distillery. And we've also been handing them out to people that have been loyal to us. And like the bartenders are all wearing these shirts now. And we got face masks for everybody at the bars and at the package store. So you'll see Legends Vodka everywhere, especially Atlanta and coming.
I legit, I think you're going to cruise through this better than anybody, because my next question was going to be, why is there just not a huge stamp or the name called No Hangover?
Yeah. So
you can.
You can't.
I get it.
You're opening yourself up there if you did that. And it's like Steve said earlier, if you drank 2 bottles of this, if you had a 100 proof bottle and you drank 2 of these in one night, we can't guarantee anything. But what we say, if you drink responsibly, but drink like a legend, you'll be okay.
There you go.
So we'll never put that in writing, and there's obviously reasons for doing that. So that's why we came out with Take Back the Morning.
Oh yeah, it's got to be along the lines. Like I was thinking earlier when I went on your website, the first thing, and it doesn't matter which site you go to, if they sell alcohol, the first question is always, are you over 21? Yes or no?
Yes.
It's like, who says no? But I know you guys have to put that on there for legal purposes.
100%. Yeah, you got to cover yourself, and we have it to where if you hit no, it kicks you off the website. It'll take you right back to the Google.com or Bing or wherever your browser is. But you have to.
You know what you should do? You should do a co-op or something with Disney and send them straight to Disney.
Do a co-op with Coke and send them straight to Coca-Cola.
There you go.
Catch a few dimes.
You got to cover all your bases with alcohol. It's it can be abused. And it can be abused very quickly. So you got to make sure you cover yourself and do everything the correct way.
Trust me, Brett's mother abused it for years. God.
Oh.
Go ahead, Brett.
Steve, you're locked up on my end, just so you know. This is and no, I'm just meaning like your picture. It's just you.
Yeah, your picture's frozen.
Yeah.
Is it frozen?
Yeah, it's just you cheesing so hard. I really want to take a picture of this. It is the creepiest. You're like rubbing your chin. You are so happy. It's awesome.
I just screenshot it. I'll send it to you.
I'm drinking.
That'd be perfect.
Well, y'all are alive. Y'all are alive and well to me. So keep going. I'm enjoying it. Okay. And Brett, that was just a joke. I know your mother's there, probably listening. Tell her I'm just playing.
I'm at the lady's house, not the mom's house. Adult things.
Get it. Either way, you live with a woman. I like it.
Always. I let them take care of me, not the other way around. I'm doing the reverse Southside Steve. All right. I've heard this answered multiple different ways over my entire life. What is the difference between bourbon and whiskey?
So bourbon, the legal technical thing behind bourbon is it has to be aged in virgin oak barrels for a minimum of 2 years, and it cannot be altered in any way. So when you take it out of the barrel, you can't add any flavorings, you can't add any additional oak spirals or anything like that. It cannot be changed. So what comes out, that must be the liquid that gets put through filtration and so on. Whiskey, you can literally do pretty much anything you want with it. You create your mash, and then technically it has to just hit something oak for a very short amount of time. So a lot of distilleries will build an oak pipe, and when it pours through the oak pipe and comes out, and that's it. That's all you need. And then you can add your own flavors. You can add tannins or oak spirals to kind of change the color profile. That's why you get ginger whiskey, cinnamon whiskey. You can do really whatever you want with it. They're very lax with the laws. Bourbon has to be minimum 2-year oak barrel and cannot be altered. The false thing that people think is that to be called a bourbon, it has to be from Kentucky.
That's what I was going to bring up next. You're good.
Question.
Not true.
I was going to say yes or BS. I've always been told bourbon has to be from Kentucky. Whiskey is outside of Kentucky.
That's why you've got a lot of bourbons that come out of Tennessee, South Carolina. You've got bourbons out of Texas. Virginia, places like that. And now, in Georgia, we have a lot of distilleries here in Georgia that make bourbon. So no, that is totally false.
Well, when it comes to people talking about states, people from Texas are the absolute worst. They're like, we can hang our flag as high as the American flag, and we can do this, and we're Texas, we're the best ever. And then you get the people from Kentucky when it comes to bourbons and stuff, and it's like, well, it's not from Kentucky, it's not bourbon, it's not real, it's fake.
Well, the people in Kentucky are proud of the heritage. I mean, bourbon did originate in Kentucky. So they're proud of that, that is what they're known for. That's the bourbon state of America. So they're proud of it. And I understand to say that it's not real bourbon if it's not from Kentucky is just complete BS, really. But I do understand why people from Kentucky are proud of the Kentucky distilleries they have there that have been around for a really long time. And they put out, quality product.
I was curious about this. So there's all these, like we were talking last week about Macallan 18, and you have Pappy, I think 14. Isn't that like one of the big ones? Like I said, This is not my jam, but I'm curious because you were talking about the quantum aging. If you have a 7-year, how do you know, do you just start this in 2020 and you're like, this is going to be perfect in 2027?
You don't know.
And then you get to 2027, you're like, this is garbage. We could have just sold this 4 years ago. Well, and I assume over those 7 years, each year you're starting a new 7-year one. You're like,
absolutely.
Whoops.
There is experimentation when you're making it, but I would think the master distillers, the ones that have been around, the Buffalo Trace, for instance, that's been around for a long time, they know what they're doing and they know what the end product is going to be. So when they barrel it up and they hit that stamp on it that dates it, and they know that they're not going to touch this now for another 10 years, they pretty much know that in 10 years they're going to have the finished product they want. Now, smaller distilleries, you're experimenting. You don't know that there's something you're working on with the mash bill. So it can be a gamble, but for the people that've been doing this for a long time, they know what they're doing. They know the quality of what they got. But there is, even Buffalo Trace is going to be experimenting every now and again. They don't know exactly what a new line of bourbon they're going to put out. They don't know exactly how it's going to taste. But again, they know what they're doing.
And we're in the Southeast, so college football is huge. SEC's launching this weekend. I was curious, what's the go-to mixer for you I don't know if you watch college football, maybe you watch Manchester United or something. I'm taking a shot. No, you're not a Man U guy?
No, Man
Arsenal?
City. Man City.
See, my team's actually from Manchester, so that's why I support them. My family.
He's Manchester City. Don't get that confused.
So my
Kevin Keegan never played for Manchester City.
No, he didn't. Great player, though. Great
player, but he played for Manchester United. I just wanted to bring him up. I was a big fan of his back in the day. But, yeah, Man City.
So I moved here 22 and a half years ago. Never went to a college that had a football team. I went to the Art Institute of Atlanta. I think our mascot was a pencil. And so, so I didn't have that college football, that college sports thing. So when I met Deborah, my wife, she's from Wisconsin. And so she's a big Big Ten Badger fan. And so that's who I follow through Deborah is I watch Big Ten football instead of the SEC, ACC, and all that. When it comes to college football, back in the day, it was always beer. I'd always go but I'd go for English beer. So I'm like drinking a Boddington's Bitter, which is an English beer, watching American football. It was so odd. But now if I'm watching it, I enjoy my bourbon. I'll go with the 87 usually because it's a lower proof, so I can drink a little bit more over a 4-hour period because only in America can you take a game that's 1 hour and drag it over 4 hours. So, that was the biggest shock to me. I'm like, I don't get it. 60 minutes. Why am I still here? It's been 3.5 hours. I don't get it. So I go to the 87. I just keep sipping on that throughout the whole game, and I hope the Badgers win, which most of the time
there you go.
So see, because you didn't go to a big college football school, I went to Alabama. Not to brag, greatest college football program of all time. Yeah, there is actually a great pastime that comes with the college football game, and that is sneaking minis into the game. Do you guys sell minis?
Not yet.
Airplane bottles?
we're working on that because we have an inn where we can probably get in with duty free and hopefully an airline in the future. I won't name drop them right now, but we have an inn with them. So we are working on that so we can.
That's great. That's actually a fantastic question, and I'm glad to hear that. You get it in minis. That's huge. That's great news.
And this is what I'm curious about. So I don't know if you guys have ever snuck minis into a football, any sporting event. It doesn't matter. It can be college football or whatever.
I'm in England.
Concerts, sporting events, everywhere. I don't even go snow skiing without 3 minis on me. You got to have your minis.
So that used to actually be my business. One of my businesses in college is I would sneak out. So, like baseball sliding shorts has the pockets right here. I put like 2 flask bottles right here in the sliders. Then I would stuff 10 minis in the cup area and just be pulling them out of my pants. And I would sell them $5 a piece in the stadium and make a good bit of money off it. I was curious about this though. If you ever,
by the way, I have 2 minis in my rectum and I'm heterosexual. I just want you to know that right now.
Well, then you'll know all about this. If you've ever stuffed a mini in your pants, they are not like super convenient. I don't know if that can apologize to conceal. Is there any way that kind of like your bottle, we could revolutionize the miniature bottle so it's easier to conceal and bring into sporting events?
I would have to say for legal reasons, no.
So legally, somebody could tell you that you can't make a different bottle. It has to be a standard shape and size.
Can you shape it like a bullet where it goes in just perfect?
Yeah. Or like a test tube shot. Like, girls put them in their bra.
Why don't you make plugs?
You can buy those collapsible flasks that basically are plastic.
Why not sell it in a collapsible flask then?
Yeah. Well,
let's not get them in legal trouble.
We would never endorse or promote sneaking alcohol into anywhere. So that is
Brett.
So unfortunately, that is something that we will never get into because we do not endorse that. However, you go nuts. Whatever you want to do, I wouldn't recommend putting the mini bottles in a cup because I don't know if I'd be spending $5 on a cup mini bottle.
All right.
Wine bottle.
And Brett, you're about to get him in trouble, so I'm about to cut you, and we're done. So I'm cutting you. One last quickie, and you're done. You're getting him in legal issues now. Okay.
Would you ever think of kind of going off because you guys have the 87, the 100, and the vodka? Would you ever think of spinning off and possibly doing a one-time creation of a, I don't know, like a single barrel bourbon or something? And maybe I was trying to think of like some random names that we could spitball around, like maybe like the Phony Tail and put Southside's face on there.
Nice. I like it.
Phony Tail. I like that. Yeah, we're actually playing around right now. We're going to be bringing out a full barrel strength rye, and we're going to be working on a wheat. We have gin that we're perfecting right now, and tequila. So
nice.
So by the end of this year, we're probably going to have the tequila for sure, and potentially the rye ready to go. Again, full barrel strength, so anywhere between 120, 123. We're going to play around and find out what the actual barrel strength will be when we pop the keg. But yeah, so we've got about 4 or 5 other additional lines of spirits we'll have by next year.
That's impressive.
Yeah, we don't want to just stay. I mean, these bottles that we've had have been fantastic, and they've definitely launched us. But we don't want to just stay at this. We want to keep growing. We want to have a full line of spirits. We've got rum that we're going to be playing around with next year too, which is going to be I think it's going to be a dark and spicy, if I'm not mistaken, that we're going to play around with. The tequila we have is going to be excellent.
Dude, I dated a girl once that was dark and spicy. I like that. That's good. So good.
There you go. The dark and spicy.
Hey,
by the way, hang on. If you, because only Chris and I can see this. If you would like to, and I would be 100% for it, if you would like to use the image of Steve's face currently that's frozen on our YouTube.
Why am I frozen? No.
Yeah, if you would like to put that on a bottle, we 100% endorse it.
That would absolutely work. I mean, it's almost like a shit-eating grin.
Yes.
Perfect.
It's so good.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm almost done with my Coke and Legends here, and I got to tell you, it was fantastic. I think we should all try to go with one ice cube, one big one. It's good stuff.
There you go.
Brett, I want to thank you for making him uncomfortable. And Chris, right now, we want to give you a cigarette break. This is something that Brett and I like to do on the Yeah Come On show, where the time that it takes to smoke a cigarette quickly, you self-promote. So for those that have enjoyed this and are dying to taste this, or even need your assistance in other areas, little self-promotion, go right ahead.
Yeah, so we're currently in 127 locations, and you can go to our website, which is spiritsusa.com, and we have a full map of every location that we're in, including directions how to get there, a phone number, and a website if they have one. We're in most of the big bars and restaurants in Atlanta, like Fido's, Manny's at Grant, Limerick Junction, we're there, Frog's Cantina, and we're just constantly adding more. And then up here in Cumming and Forsyth, we're in a lot of locations also. Jack's Package, Cumming Beverage Mart. You can literally find us just about anywhere at this point. And if they don't carry it, ask for a Legends, and then they'll start getting in their head about, oh, we got to carry Legends. Go to social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It's all Legends_spirits. And we're constantly putting up new material up there. We'll talk about this awesome podcast. And then anytime we have a cool little gimmick that we put out to promote, we have fun with it. We don't just put out the same stuff. We have a lot of fun with it. So please follow us on social media. And then the website, again, is spiritsusa.com. Go to the find a store section, and you can find any one of our 127 locations.
All right, our guest today, Chris Green, not just a Legends man, but a personal friend. I want to thank you for being on the Yeah Come On show. I'm enjoying your bourbon. Every time I take a sip, I think of you. Sometimes I think of your wife. I hope that's not wrong.
I'm not surprised.
Here you have it. Cheers to you, mate. Cheers to Legends Bourbon and their vodka and everything else coming, the 87, the 100. Chris Green. I'm Southside Steve. That's Brett Barney. Thanks for being on the Yeah Come On show, my brother.